The David Moyes Lopetegui situation, how was that to part ways last summer, and how do you feel now the new manager's come in?
Oh, look, I had a really excellent working relationship with David. As I said previously, he was one of the most professional people I've ever met in any walk of life. His work ethic was second to none. His attention to detail, his passion, his drive, his energy. He was an absolute pleasure to work with. The reason that he left is that I think it become a sort of inconsistency that, that he had decided that he didn't want to, be... I think he felt very unappreciated by the supporters. I think having delivered... I mean, I don't want to put words into his mouth, but I think having delivered a European trophy and all the success that you said, I think he found it quite difficult to be turned on so quickly. But that doesn't mean to say he was boo-hooing about it. He was rolling up his sleeves. No, he was rolling up his sleeves and getting on with it. But there is a situation where it goes a bit stale. And you both need a change. And that's the conclusion we came to together.
Yeah, I was a very unpopular man for making such a suggestion that, I think the way he felt he was being treated at the end of last season, given what he'd done for the club, wasn't at all sort of in keeping with what West Ham fans have historically been like. I'm hoping after a little bit of time that the general mood around him will, everyone will look back in fondness. And yeah, not nice here that David was feeling that way. Julen Lopetegui has come in though. Lots of positivity around the fan base about that appointment, and a very impressive CV indeed. What was the thinking behind that? How did the process come about, and how are you feeling now he's had a bit of time to get his feet under the table?
Look, it's really hard picking a manager. You meet a few. It's very hard in one meeting to make your mind up. But we all, myself and David Sullivan, met him and we both really liked him. We both felt he was genuine, hard-working, passionate, enthusiastic, had clear ideas of what he wanted to do, understood the West Ham way. I know people say, the West Ham way. But we as West Ham fans know what the West Ham way is. And came with this sort of exuberance and energy and passion, and wanted to work with us, and we wanted to work with him, and so far so good. He's been a breath of fresh air and a very professional and really good to work with.
How do you balance that then as a sort of a group of people making these huge decisions that everyone's got an opinion about, particularly when it comes to style of play? How do you balance that against, hard success on the pitch and all that comes with that?
Well, you have to have a little bit of chemistry. You have to feel, this is someone I can work with, because it's a close relationship. It has to be someone who isn't emotionally draining about themselves, someone who's very demanding. What you want them to do is really focus on the job in hand. We will give him every penny we can, as you've seen in the transfer market, to go out and help him build in that success. But how he runs the training ground, who he picks, who he plays, how he trains them, what his preparation is, we don't get involved in that. We don't say, let's put on a tracksuit and come down to the training ground and interfere with training, or in the dressing room on a match day. I mean, that is nonsense. We brought him in because he is an experienced individual who we believe can continue to build on David Moyes' success, get us back into Europe and help deliver what all the fans want, which is winning. And that's why we went with him. Yeah,
it's been an amazing transfer window for West Ham so far. You've made some great signings. Nicholas Füllkrug in particular, a German international, just come in from Borussia Dortmund. That is one that's got all of the fans excited. Yeah. Mikel Antonio's been a great servant to the club, getting on a little bit now, and it's felt like...
he'll hate you saying that. That's very unkind.
Forgive me, Mikhail. But, he's not a 23-year-old up-and-comer. Let's put it that way. He's very experienced, is Mikhail. And with Sebastian Haller came in, then Gianluca Scamacca came in, two moves which didn't really work out. There's some excitement behind Füllkrug in particular. What can you tell us about that? And all the other big names that have come in, Max Kilman, Lewis Guillemé as well.
What I can tell you is that when he arrived from Germany on the plane, he got off the plane and the first thing he asked was, where can I train? Because I don't like to miss one day's training.
Right.
So that's the kind of attitude that you want. He's a big personality, a strong individual, a real grown-up, if that makes sense. So I think he's going to have a really positive impact around the training ground. He's incredibly professional. And yeah, we're all really excited. I mean, we've signed some really good players. All we want is for them to improve West Ham and give us less nervy games and much more fun days out.
Absolutely. And Tim Stuyton's been a huge part of that. He came in, of course, when David Moyes was still there. What would, a lot was made when Julen Lopetegui was appointed, of the two of them together. He's been very present as Tim. That's a new way of working for West Ham. What's changed? How's that working?
Well, I think it works very well. I think that the chairman who handles the transfers, he felt that he needed someone to help him through that process. It's really very difficult signing players. So that's why Tim was brought in, and also to help improve our scouting ability so that the money we did have would be spent wisely, go further and improve the team. So that's why we changed that structure. And Dave Sullivan and I interviewed a dozen potential sporting technical directors, and we both liked him. We thought we could work with him, and that's proved to be good. Yeah.
Was Tim quite fairly heavily involved in the appointment of Julen?
Yes, I mean, Tim was asked to put together a shortlist. He put that shortlist together. David Sullivan and I interviewed them. I mean, obviously the ultimate decision is the shareholders, but like everybody at West Ham, if you bring someone in with expertise, you listen to them because they know what they're talking about.
Absolutely. So just tell me, what you said in a column in April, that West Ham can be knocking on the door of the Big Six. That has been proven in the last few seasons. So what does success look like this year for West Ham, given that there's a bit of transition going on with the new manager? What are you expecting and hoping and wanting?
The first day of the first game of the Premier League season, you hope to win the league. You do. You really do. You full of optimism. You've signed new players. You've got a new manager. Things are coming together. You think maybe we could win the league, and then you get a couple of results that don't go your way. That sort of knocks that bit of excitement out of you. But yeah, we want to get back into Europe. That's an absolute priority for us. We'd like to win something every year. I mean, I cannot tell you how good it felt being in Europe, winning that trophy, to be part of a West Ham that created that memory for hundreds of thousands of West Ham supporters all over the world is very special, and we'd like to keep on doing that.
Well, there we have it then. That was our exclusive sit-down with West Ham United Vice Chair Karren Brady, and you can read Karren Brady's words every single week in the Sun newspaper and, of course, online, so make sure you pick up your copy and head to thesun.co.uk/football.